Good boy, Rover. Good boy. Well done. Come on. Good boy. Come on. This way. Good boy. Come on, buddy. Good job. Hello, Chop. Yeah, what's this going on here? Huh? What's this? It's all new, isn't it? New sounds. Good boy. Good boy, you're alright. What are those noises going on in the background? Eh? Yeah, that's a new doggy. That's a new doggy. That's Freddy. Good boy. Good boy, mate. Good boy. Good boy, buddy. Good boy, mate. Yeah, well done. Good boy. Good boy. Well done. You're right. Good boy, mate. Good boy. Good boy. Well done. Yeah. Let's go check it out, mate.
How's he going?
Yeah. Much better for me in the morning. Comes up, says hello, gives me a lick. Still shies away at the slightest noise or movement. And comes out, shows confidence, saying hello, and then as you can see the tail goes back between his legs unsure. So there's a lot more weariness than a domestic dog. So I'm just trying to expose him a little bit here. We've got him out there with a hydro bath, and we just want to get him used to those noises, those sounds, the smells. And he met Freddy for the first time, and he had a bit of a spring in his step and really wanted to sniff Freddy. It's probably the best smelling dog he's ever smelt.
Freddy's also, very handsome. Like, wow, look how good looking that dog is. Hey, buddy.
Good job, man. Good boy. Hey, good job. Good job. Get up. Good boy. Good boy, man. See Joey then? She used to just stand and jump up and say hello to me when I said free and jumped on him.
I didn't see it. It would have been on camera, but yeah, sorry, I missed it.
And while he was doing the sit, Maggie came running up, as she does, the arrogant box away. And he let out a growl to her.
Ah, okay.
That's what that little no was for halfway through that exercise.
Hey, buddy. Hello. He's not 100% on Maggie.
No.
He takes a little bit of getting used to.
Hey, brah. Cruiser through. Good job. Good boy. See the tail position come right up then?
Mm-hmm.
And Lily just knocked the wind out of his sails, didn't you, mate?
Hi, Maxine.
Hey, how you going?
Good. Hi, Emro. How are ya? You got Til Til in there?
I got Til Til.
Hello, Til Til.
I saw you had the dingo out.
Pardon?
I saw you had the dingo.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Cruiser.
Cruiser.
Yeah. Hello, Til Til. Hello, best friend. Hello, Shadow. You were saying you should have seen Maggie. It was
Yeah.
Maggie. Yeah. What happened? Was she
Oh my
dirty?
God. No. Like, so she got on there and I was
Yeah.
trying it, and she just laid down and she's just like, yeah, I love this.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
And she's just like closing her eyes and lifting her paws.
It's like spa day,
she just
Maxine.
absolutely loves it. Like,
I love it that they love it.
well, Fredo does not so much,
Oh.
but I got a paw at the end.
Oh, but
Yeah.
that means a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
Fredo's paw is a big
He gave
thing.
me a big lick as well.
Yeah, he gives his mummy his paw lots. I think they're all going to eventually love it. Love it.
Love parts of it.
Yeah.
Maggie loves the whole lot.
Yeah. Aww. Oh, she deserves it.
Yeah, she's so cute.
She is.
I love
She's
her
real
so
sweet.
much.
Yeah, you keep going on, yeah. Keep going. Good boy. Okay, mate. Good day. Good day. Good boy. Thank you. Come on, Cruiser. Come on, buddy. Up in. Up in. Good boy. Good boy. This way. This way. Good boy.
So we're not giving Cruiser a bath.
No, but we're just showing him as many of the usual activities and sounds and smells that go on here at the farm. Being a dingo, he's inherently very wary of anything new, so you have to introduce everything to him. If you could imagine being wary and cautious of anything that's strange or new, would be very good for the species survival. The more inquisitive you are, the more likely you are to get yourself in trouble. So it's a trait that dingoes have that is very typical of their survival. So it's really important to show him and introduce him to things that are obviously new to him, and help him to identify that they're nothing to be fearful of and nothing to be wary of. So it's going to be a little bit of a slow process compared to, say, a domestic dog, where they really don't have that true survival instinct. They're happy just to follow their owner most of the time, you know, blindly into any situation and just feed off the owner's behavior and body language. Whereas these guys are really independent thinkers and inherently, like I say, very wary and cautious. So it's just the way that he is. It's a bit of a subtle difference between dingoes and domestic dogs, so we've just got to account for that and cater for that when dealing with Cruiser here. But he's doing quite well. He's coming out straight into the group now. I've only seen one little growl, and that was to Maggie just bulldozing straight in. Oh, look at that tail wag. Look at it. Look, 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 look.
Oh, yeah, I did see that, and that was to Maggie.
Yeah.
Good boy, Cruiser. What a good boy, buddy.
So I was thinking today, I'm pretty happy with the way that he's been behaving. It is just typical of him to be nervous and cautious, and the fact that he showed that aggression that first day in the cage, I believe it's solely due to the fact that he did not have an escape route. He was locked in a corner in a cage and he had nowhere to go, so he's obviously gone into, well, I can't retreat, so I'm going to defend. But typically these guys, when you talk about a fight or flight response, they are 99% of the time going to choose flight. They just want to get out of there. They don't want to get into any confrontation. There's no point risking any injury when it comes to survival. They'd rather just retreat and then find another opportunity. So that's his personality, that's his style. So if he's got an out, he'll always take it. So the only time that typically a dingo will fight or defend or guard is when they feel there's no other option. So I'm pretty happy with the way that he's been going.
So just for everyone at home,
yeah.
Just maybe a point to make is that how that differs to the type of dogs and breeds that we especially get at the farm.
Yeah.
I mean, not saying that all breeds and dogs are this way, but we'll just move over here because of the dryer. But because we take on the more difficult dogs,
yeah.
We do tend to get breeds of dogs that have been bred for more the fight response,
yeah.
not the flight response.
Yeah.
So, you know, like Roscoes and Freddos and the, you know, Staffies and Pit Bulls and
yep.
German Shepherds and, you know, pretty much the majority of our pack.
Yeah. The American Bulldogs.
Yeah, yeah. The Malinois.
The Pugs.
Oh, PewDiePie, you're such a bully.
Ooh. Hey, bruh. Not a chew toy. Yep. Yeah, so...
But I guess also you could probably explain why a lot of the training that we do in terms of the rehabilitation with the shelter dogs that we specifically see...
Yeah.
Like, it generally is, you know, all that aggression and the escalation because it goes in the fight direction as opposed to going in the flight direction.
That's right, yeah. So when they find themselves in a stare, you know, eye to eye or a confrontation, they're not likely to back down. They've got pride at stake, you know, they've got an agenda. Whereas this guy's totally opposite. He's like, I couldn't give two hoots what you think about me. You know, it's all about, the instinct is all about survival.
Yeah.
And they see that there's nothing, Abra! There's nothing in it for them just for a fight. You know, there's no territory, there's no, you know, pups to defend. There's not a food source. You know, it's literally, it has absolutely no, it makes no sense to these guys to get into that kind of scuffle. So that's why for him, the only real reason why he's still on lead is that flight response.
Mm-hmm. Which is very, very strong.
Yeah.
Hello, mate, good boy. Yeah, good
so he's likely to run, you know, to a corner of the property.
Yeah.
And he's just not going to get any benefit out of that.
No, he'll just avoid most of it, and he'll probably go exploring. And at this stage, you know, our bond isn't good enough that in an open area like that, in the bushland or anything like that, you know, I'm not going to be able to go up there and say, come on, mate, let's go, and he's going to come up to me. You know, I'm able to get that response now because he's in a room or he's on lead. But when given the freedom, he's just going to be like, I'm choosing freedom.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to go this way. In a couple of weeks, that'll change.
But if he was a domestic dog at this point, you'd probably let him
he'd be off lead.
Yeah.
If he was a domestic dog at this point, he wouldn't. I'd be very happy with what I'm seeing. He's showing all the right signs. But what I was going to try and do today was let him off lead in the pool area.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Where it's a little bit more confined, and I was going to just see how he handles that. Also assess how easy it is for me to walk up to him and put the lead back on at the end. Give him a little bit of freedom there, and just see how he responds to that. If it turns into a, you know, 10-15 minute evolution trying to get him to calm down and corner him so I can put him back on lead, then we know that he's definitely not ready for going off lead anywhere else. We'll see though, we'll see how he handles it. It will be an interesting thing. One of the things that I find fascinating is the difference in their teeth compared to a domestic dog. He's got very big teeth. You know, even the shepherds, like, I think the biggest teeth we've got is Banjo.
Oh, yeah, Lily's
You like
beautiful.
Lily? Yeah.
And Freddo's beautiful too.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, they do have bigger teeth than domestic dogs.
Yeah. No, he definitely does. But I meant it's interesting
Yes, we'll
who
have...
he chooses.
There's so many things we need to talk about today when we haven't even formally introduced him.
Yeah,
So
okay.
we'll...
This is Cruiser the Dingo.
but we'll maybe... I think I need to just make sure that Mum's okay.
I think it's good because I don't think he had the best relationship with his dog that he was living with. But it's good to see that he's very happy and, you know, excited to say hello to some of the dogs. Tail gets wagging, he gets a little bit, you know, childlike in his posture and behaviour. The ears go really high and spin outwards a little bit, and he gets a little jitter in his body language, you know. Means yeah, he's doing that, the ears go sideways, tail comes out. Hey, Brat. Cut it out. It's nice in that shade.
Isn't it?
Hey, Betty.
Good boy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Diesel's like, you smell familiar.
Yeah. Hey, Roscoe. Hey, Maggie. Hello, buddy. Hello there, bro. Hello, mate. Oh, look at your collar, Maggie. It looks beautiful. G'day, guys. So I want to introduce you to the newest canine on the farm, and that is Cruiser the Dingo. Hey, mate, that's you, buddy. And so Cruiser is a native Australian dingo. They are wild, running through the... Nope. Sorry, just needed to manage that quickly. Both Cruiser's parents are wild animals, and unfortunately Cruiser ended up in humans' hands at a very young age as a pup. Long story short, Cruiser is still a rescue looking for and was looking for a suitable home. He's been in foster care for over 12 months now, and we have been keeping track of this guy for a little while in the background, and we reached out and just asked a few questions and started investigating, and long story short, he's now come to the farm. So there's quite a few things that we don't want to get into as far as dingoes are concerned. We want to definitely take you guys on this journey with us, and it will be Cruiser's story. We don't want to get into the whole political debacle around what dingoes are they dogs, are they not dogs, what are they classified as. You know, there is a lot of controversy surrounding these guys. But the bit of background is that they estimate that the dingoes have been on the continent for about 4,000 years. And some arguments say that that's long enough for them to be their own subspecies, having survived that long. And others say the opposite. Some people say that they're dogs, and vice versa. Some people say they're not. However, that's why I refer to him as a canine. So there's a lot of different laws in Australia as well, and depending on what state you're in, whether or not you can legally have a dingo as a pet. And it does seem that where we are here in New South Wales, it's one of the most lenient states as far as dingo ownership goes. I know they are illegal in a lot of other states, and so I just wanted to point out a few of the things that is more informational based around dingoes in Australia. There are some quite notable differences in behaviour and all that kind of stuff, which we will take you on our journey with observations that we've made. Obviously there's going to be a slightly different approach to the end goal as far as training goes, the training method. All of these kind of things are really just going to be come along with us. So there's probably going to be a lot of people overseas that have never even heard of a dingo and have no idea about the politics and the internal. Let me just let this happen, see what's going on here. I'll do a little bit of a teeth, but these are before, that's all. So at the end of the day here, we're not trying to get into an argument with anyone or a debate about anything to do with dingoes. We're not trying to be dingo experts. So just on
that, for everyone at home, the reason we're making that statement is just and because a lot of our international followers will go, that sounds very odd, you know, hearing that. Our Australian followers will understand, and that is because depending on what your experience is with dingoes and what your motivations are, or how, like, okay, just experience, then determines what opinion you have on dingoes. So a farmer has a different opinion on what a dingo is and what their use are and so history.
There's quite a number of different groups in Australia. When I say groups, I'm just classifying, like you say, farmers who see dingoes as pests to their livestock because they come and kill and eat the livestock.
For example, a lot of farmers see them as pests, as wild dogs.
Yep, and they're trying to classify them as wild dogs so they're not protected under the native fauna umbrella.
Not saying that all farmers are like that.
No, but this is just a generalisation, and it's really, like I said, it's an informational thing to help people overseas who don't understand what's going on here in Australia with these guys. And this is why we're putting this disclaimer out there right now. We do not want to hear arguments, and we're not going to get into arguments online about it.
It's just
We're
Cruiser.
just here to give Cruiser the best possible life we can give here on the farm, and we're taking on this journey with us.
Yeah.
Like I said,
conservationists, they've got a
Yep.
different opinion.
Absolutely.
Researchers have different opinions to people who run foundations
but
and sanctuaries.
on that as well, researchers also have different opinions to other researchers.
Yes.
So no one is agreeing about anything to do with dingoes.
They can't even
as far
agree
as-
on what
to
a
call
dingo
them.
is
Yeah.
and what to call them.
So this is why I don't want to get into it, because it's just a whirlwind of wasted time.
Because we could
as far as
say
I'm
what we
concerned.
think,
Yeah, but it
and
means
there'll
nothing.
be so many other people that'll just be like, well, that's not right.
That's right, and I don't want to hear about it. I want to deal with Cruiser.
Yeah.
And I want to take you on the journey.
That's
with
the
us.
important part.
Yeah. So don't email in and tell me all the different things that people are disagreeing about. But what I do want to say is I don't claim to be a dingo expert. However, I have trained a number of dingoes. So it's not my first dingo that I'm training. But in saying that, again, all you dingo experts out there, don't come firing both barrels over here. I'm going to ignore it.
It is one of those ones that he's a unique case.
Yeah.
And we're going into it like this because we just know that every case that we've had, where even like Shadow and
People
Abra,
definitely Chance.
people have very strong opinions on.
We all get it.
You know,
And we know that people are going to be similarly enthusiastic and passionate about dingoes. And I am
understandably.
as well. I love dingoes. I love everything to do with native Australia. And in saying that, please don't come at me again if you're one of those people that don't class them as native Australian animals. I don't want to hear it. But from a young child, I've always respected the fact that, these are wild animals. And I feel very privileged to be working with one here, even though I already have trained a number of them during my years as a dog trainer. That was the first time I actually, because I grew up in Queensland where they are illegal to keep, and when I started dog training, it was the first time like I was questioning. I walked into this house and I'm like, these guys are dingoes. I'm like, yeah. Like, how do you have these as pets? Like, you're allowed to. And that's the first time I realised, oh, New South Wales has got a different law. So I'm very excited to introduce you to Cruise. It is a little bit of a different approach. They are extremely wary and shy of anything new, and that trait serves them well as wild animals. It's what's helped them survive for so long, and for them to be as abundant as they are across Australia.
So people would like to know specifically Cruiser's story.
Yep. So Cruiser, the story we got is a couple of teenagers went camping, and
Very sadly.
yeah, we don't know how or why, but they came home with a couple of dingo pups. So we don't know if they just stumbled across a den. We don't know what's happened.
Whatever, it sounds terrible.
But at the end of the day, if you do come across wildlife, the general rule is leave them alone. Don't touch them. Don't remove them from their environment. They don't need to be interfered with.
And we are not promoting pet ownership of dingoes.
No, we're not. However, this guy unfortunately found himself in the hands of humans at a very young age, and then he was
Firstly,
tied up with a few
dogs.
hunting dogs for a couple of months, and then someone who knew them saw the dog, and then
it was the daughter of
the recent owner
who walked past the backyard
is that what happened?
and saw
the
dingo pup chained up with the hunting dogs.
Yep.
And went home to her mum and said, "Mum, we got to save this dingo." And so they managed to rescue and save the dingo.
They rescued him in the opinion that they were going to find a home.
Yes.
And he's been up for adoption the whole time, and they've had him for 12 months.
Yeah. So he was never supposed to stay permanently with them. They're not experienced, well, they are now. They've had him for 12 months. But they loved and cared for him because obviously they were big animal lovers.
Mm-hmm.
They saved him. So big thanks to them.
Yeah.
However, he has been living in an environment with
a cattle dog.
an antisocial
Yeah,
dog.
and it hasn't, as much as, you know, they gave him a loving home, as far as what he needs, it was lacking a little bit as far as socialization goes, and training, and that environment. So
That's no reflection on them as a person.
not at all. They did their best
Yes.
at what they dealt with,
And no one came forward.
no,
you know,
that's
they
right.
tried
They
to
expected that it was only going to be a couple of weeks,
temporary.
You know, so, but they've done that well for 12 months. They could have easily just handed him into the shelter.
And also in New South Wales, because I just want to say this because I know that
Good boy,
people in other states, let alone internationally,
Yeah.
there is a different system, obviously, because there is no pet ownership of dingoes in other states. So there are sanctuaries and rescues to take a dingo. Here in New South Wales, whilst we do have like a dingo rescue, it is like a shelter. You know, you if it goes in, it is just
Isolated
up for
in a-
adoption,
in a-
like
oh,
a
sorry.
dog
In New South Wales. Yeah.
in New South Wales.
Yeah.
So they've done the right thing in they've contacted
Yeah,
a rescue.
He's definitely had a better life living with a family home than he has living in a shelter.
Or in isolation. So they contacted a rescue straight away to find a unique, suitable home. But obviously there's not too many places that are geared up to take on
Yeah.
a pure, you know, wild dingo.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you know, you don't get much more wild than this. He was taken from the wild as a pup. He was born into the wild, both wild parents. So the instincts are all completely there. You know, everything that he has would have given him the capable skills of surviving in the wild. Now, we have, let me just talk quickly about it. In the area we live here in New South Wales, we do have quite a few wild dogs, and the term wild dogs is given to a different group of dogs. That's not dingoes. Anywhere in Australia where we refer to dingoes, we call them dingoes. Some people may say dingoes are wild dogs, but when I refer to wild dogs, I'm talking about domestic dogs that have turned wild. So basically ran away from home, surviving on their own in the wild.
That happens here in Australia.
That happens here in Australia a lot.
We've actually got a problem with it around the farm.
That's what I'm saying. So
They're
here,
big packs of wild dogs.
The previous owner to this property that we are now, he was a sheep farmer, and every year he would lose roughly 10 sheep to wild dogs on the property. So they roam around quite a big area of land, looking for opportunities to take livestock and chickens and scavenge. In that particular pack, there are some dogs that look to be dingoes, and there are some dogs that look to be hybrids, and then there are some dogs that are purely domestic dogs that have now started to run with a wild pack. So there is a wild dog problem, and we also have dingoes at the same time. Unfortunately, dingoes do get caught up in the management procedure and programs trying to combat the wild dog problem. But most of the time, dingoes will stay away, leave you alone. They don't want to confront you. Wild dogs are a little bit different. They've got a little bit more nous around people, and they've been known to confront people and livestock. So in Australia, majority of the time, dingoes are very wary, and you won't know they're there. They will be very silent and hide and watch from afar. They won't impose on anything. There is one place in Australia that is a little bit different, and it is an island called Fraser Island, and it's a very big tourist destination. It also has a very big dingo population on the island, and the dingoes there have learned that humans equal a food source as far as camping grounds, and when they get desperate, that's where there's been some confrontation with people. But it's very, very rare, most of the time. They've got a lot of area to roam and disappear. They don't need humans. They've been surviving without humans, human influence for quite a long time. So that's a bit of background for everyone overseas who hasn't heard about dingoes before. They are a wild animal. They are a canine. Debate's out whether they're a dog or not. I'm not going to get into that debate, but we have Cruiser here, and he's been here for, this is the 3rd day, and we are excited to see how much progress he's making already. And it's very interesting, and I feel like we're going to learn a lot from him, and I am very excited to take you on this journey with us, and hopefully.
So it is a unique situation,
Yeah.
because, oh goodness, that Abra
Yeah.
is going to be an interesting journey with Cruiser, because there's likely not too many like previously wild dingoes like living in such a large social domestic dog pack.
No.
So it will be interesting to see how that works and how he fits in. Not saying that we're not confident that it's not going to work, but we're just saying that the how is going to be interesting.
I definitely think it's going to be a different fit. It's not going to be a normal fit, and that's purely based on the fact that he is a different kind of animal in the way that a domestic animal, hey, none of that. A domestic animal is looking for, you know, that guidance and that leadership all the time, whereas a wild animal is not. They are completely capable of thinking and acting on their own. So as far as my objective for this guy compared to the other dogs here, it is a little different in the way that I'm definitely going to teach Cruiser that there are places and scenarios and situations that I control, and there's going to be no ifs or buts about that. And as far as the rules go, you know, there's no any social behaviour, there's no fighting, all the rest of it. They are all still very well enforced. But as far as my relationship with Cruiser, it's not, in my opinion, it's not really going to be that, you know, I own him and he's mine. It's really going to be a lot more down the path of a mutual respect for one another. And when involved in those environments, he's going to understand that I'm in control. But then when he's roaming around, I want to give him that freedom that, you know, this is you. Go roam, go patrol, go explore. It's not going to be the same level of control or
influence
over him. So it's likely that when in the future, I see that when we go for a walk, he is most likely going to come with, but he'll disappear. And then all of a sudden you'll see him on the top of the hill somewhere, and he'll know where we are, but he just keeps going on. And then at the end of that walk, he'll appear back at the gate and come back through with us. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where that's what I anticipate him doing. If he wants to come and join in the whole time, great, but I'm not going to force him to. You know, it's one of those things where he doesn't need that kind of influence and guidance the whole time. He needs that freedom to be that independent thinker that he is, and that he is very capable of entertaining himself. And oh, there he goes. He did it the other day too, but we're sitting here talking, he's like, come on, I want to go. And he turned around and started to gnaw at the lead. Oh. And this is just purely that independent thinking that's going on here. It's like, well, if you're not going to listen to me, maybe I'll free myself. Oh yeah, that's the tutu.
That's the tutu. And she's beautiful.
Yeah, you smell good too, Tui. You just had a bath.
What a good girl Tui is. She's so beautiful. Good girl, Tip. Oh, Pie! You're so beautiful! Look how cute she looks. She's just
a pretty little bird.
she's just had her little bath. Hello, Angel. Look at you, darling. You look beautiful.
Away and stopped where you were, and he went into a defensive position.
Oh.
So he doesn't know you, and he dropped his head, and his ears went flat across his head, and he looked at you straight away. That's why I was like, you need to watch what he does. Not for any other reason, but he kept going on. Yeah, he could definitely defend himself. So the only time that these guys are likely to do that is when they don't have another option. He's on the lead, he's not going anywhere. So if you came straight in while he showed that posture, it's not going to be very good. Coming up to you like this, don't move. Coming up to you like that is good. Don't retreat, don't advance, just stand there, ignore him, pretend he doesn't exist. But as you were approaching and you were just like, oh, it was a tough walk up the hill, he was looking at you and he was going into a defensive posture. Hello, mate.
Look at you, buddy. Look at you, boy. Look.
He says, I'm ready for a swim. That every day for a while is going to be a new day for Cruiser.
Yeah, so
because of anything new.
Yep.
Is
so the dingoes are not like domestic dogs in the way that they, you can get a visitor that your new dog is meeting for the first time, and they're usually quite happy, like, oh, someone new. Dingoes are a little bit different in that way, where
but why are domestic dogs that way? Because they trust in,
Yeah, they trust and rely 100% on humans for their survival. So they're very trusting of people, and they're very trusting of their owners. They're also very forgiving of people. So as far as the dingo is concerned, they don't rely on you at all. So they are completely self-sufficient, can survive in the wild, have done for thousands of years. So as far as humans are concerned, they're more of a threat than they are a friend. And so that's why, as I said before, that nervousness or that untrusting and cautious behaviour is what has most likely helped them survive this long. So as far as, are you going to talk about what the situation just happened now, or is that what you wanted to do?
I just wanted to say, just for expectations.
Oh, that's right.
There's going to be, like, he's going to show all, like, confidence with the pack.
Yep. Got it. So as far as Cruiser's concerned, there's going to be quite a lot of slow introductions to new things. Everything that is new, he will be wary of and show timidness and, avoidance. That's one of his key survival instincts, is to avoid anything unfamiliar that doesn't have any value for him. I.e., if it's not a food source, if it's not anything that he needs in his life, he's going to avoid it. So as far as new people, as far as tradies, as far as, you know, anything that is new to him is going to be a slow introduction for Cruiser. Even in the mornings when I come in and say hello, he still has that, oh hi, it's you, and he'll lick my leg, but then I'll stand up and walk to the door, and then I'll turn around and put the lead on, and he still shies away. And you know, it's always that you've got to keep winning his affection and approval. It's coming along very fast, but as far as new people coming in, it's not going to be welcome with open arms as far compared to a domestic dog.
What a good boy. He really is enjoying the pack,
Yeah,
though.
I think so.
There's so many new experiences for him that he's going to take that step back, but it does seem like he's moving forward with the dogs.
Yeah, but which is one of the main things that I wanted for him, was the fact that we have such a happy, well-balanced pack.
Yeah.
That when you introduce a new dog to, they're all very accepting and welcoming. They're never defensive or territorial. A very positive environment for dogs to go through a rehab scenario and to learn to trust in such a complex pack. And so we thought that this would be one of the best possible captive environments for a Cruiser to come and live out his days here at the farm.
His best life would be in the wild.
Absolutely.
We're not arguing that.
His best life would be left where he was in the wild, but unfortunately now where he is here, he can't be released back into the wild. He doesn't have any other dogs to guide him through, teach him where and how to hunt. He's missed out on a lot of that, so unfortunately he would not survive in the wild now. So for him, he needed somewhere safe and, you know, somewhere that he could live out the rest of his days. And we thought that we could offer that to him here, being on a property, having a large pack of dogs, a large pack of social dogs to be his friends, and for him to feel included and a part of. And I think that he will thrive here once he, accepts this place as his home. Okay, so we were just walking along that path there. We stopped to do a bit of filming, and Sam was offloading some of her treats, but not really watching because she was filming me. And there was a little bit of an incident there with Diesel. He's got a bit of resource guarding going on. He had a little bit of a snap at Hope, and it wasn't a major thing. It is pretty common for dogs this early on in their rehab to still have those kind of behaviours. But I suppose it's a good time to chat about Diesel and talk about, you know, him and plans for him and what's going on. But we got the blood results back for Diesel and they all came back normal. So now we are 100% going down the path of training as a solution for him. So as far as
we do
Diesel's
just quickly, we do have DNA testing that's still going on in the background.
DNA is still going to come back as a confirmation of what breeds he is.
And I think also there is some health analysis that's also going on. But we're moving forward and that will come back in the next few weeks. Yeah.
So as far as Diesel's concerned, we do believe he has got working dog in him as far as herding is concerned. So
it's very, very strong.
Yeah, it's a really strong instinct from him. So, you know, we definitely want to have a look at what are the options we can provide for him as far as satisfying that desire to herd. We've got a couple of games that we can play to kick in that herding instinct.
So one of the games, we used to play it at daycare. It's actually formally called Tribal, and it was designed for herding dogs.
Yeah.
We just had fun with it,
which the dogs all
it was the big ball game in the paddock, but it's something that is actually a dog sport.
Yeah, so he would most likely
dogs.
get a good kick out of it once we showed him what to do and how to play. So, you know, that's something that we want to focus on, satisfying his, you know, internal... No. You hear that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was quite audible, that one.
So that's something that we want to give him as more of a satisfaction type thing. It's definitely not a solution for him to say, okay, now we'll just give him what he needs and now he's fixed. It's not the case at all.
And that's just the same on Abra.
Yeah, so I was about to say, Abra is a very similar case where, okay, she comes from a very strong lineage of protection dogs, so she has a lot of behaviours that are undesirable in civilian world but very desirable in the protection world. So we are definitely going to go down the path of formal training for her, and then if we decide to go down that path of any sort of training for protection as far as sport's concerned or whatever, it will only be as a bit of a bonus for her to give her something that she's got a strong drive to do. It doesn't mean that if we just give her the protection work, she'll be a balanced dog. Absolutely not. She needs a very well-grounded and balance of training, and then it might be something as an added bonus that we give her as a bit of fun and a bit of stimulation for bonding or whatever it might be. So it's very important to remember the training is going to be the foundation in these guys' rehab.
We're looking into that for, you know, fulfillment, you know, so the feeling of, and that is definitely, they're going to benefit from it, and they're going to have that outlet to do those things. But it doesn't mean that Diesel doing that, he's no longer going to be reactive, or, you know, that Abra is no longer going to be aggressive.
Yeah, the training is going to focus on all those antisocial behaviours and help them to be a well-balanced dog. But the training specific to their desires and their breed is really more of a way of stimulating them in an activity that they enjoy and they get excited about. And, you know, a form of exercise, a form of relationship building. You know, if Diesel's future owner wants to go and do herding classes and do, you know, join something on the weekends, that's going to be a very good bonding exercise for them to do. And Diesel's going to get this relief and this stimulation and these endorphins from doing something that he loves, and it's going to be associated with the owner that he does it with. So these are all just added bonuses to enrich their life. They're not part of the actual rehab or training side of things. Good dog. Okay, come on, let's go. Sorry, mate. We'll jump over the top of you there, didn't I? Oh, the boy. Good girl, guys. Like that. Good girl. Good girl, Abra. Good girl.
Lily. Lily.
Good girl, Lily. Oh, good. Oh, good.
She's actually a really good swimmer.
Great swimmer, isn't she?
I was watching her and she's very slow with her stroke. But
Nice and calm.
yeah.
She's well balanced now too.
Look at her, she just goes... I love it. I love seeing dogs enjoy swimming.
She wants to splash, she splashes, then she cruises. Looks like he might want to come in. You come in, buddy. Swim.
Good girl, Rosie. What a good girl you are. You are such a good girl. You are such a good girl.
Good boy, Fredo. What you got, mate? There you go. Yeah, I'll take one.
Oh my gosh! Holy moly!
Get that?
Well, I mean, the camera was rolling.
That was impressive.
Yeah. It is odd, isn't it?
That's taken off.
Okay, yeah, good idea.
Okay, mate.
Good boy. Oh goodness.
There you go, good boy. There you go. Good girl, Labra. Nice, come on, let's go.
He's definitely interested.
Yeah.
It's just different though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
well, that's why I wanted to pick him up and show him how to get out, because that's the biggest concern they usually have is how do they get out. Once they get in. See, these bows are just coming off left, right and centre in the water.
They're so pretty. Oh, that's cool, Amro. That looks awesome. Waterproof and lick-proof. Good boy, Cruiser. Good boy, bud. Like, he's not trying to get out of the water.
He likes the water.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to help him just lower him in so he knows
Yeah.
to get out. But gee, that was just some impressive jump. Like, I've never seen a dog jump like that.
No. Not even Roscoe, like, you know, with...
Good boy, buddy. Good boy. He's very interested in it, isn't he?
He is, yeah. He wants to take the step off,
I
but
think he does.
he's going to do it. I feel like he's going to do it.
Good boy. Come on, buddy. Good boy, you can do it. And again, this is power of the pack. He's seeing all the other dogs get excited about it, enjoy it. It's like, I want to be a part of it, but he's not sure how. You know, usually, as I always do, I'll pick them up, lower them in, and then guide them back to the ramp and let them learn how to get out by themselves. But he wasn't happy with me picking him up. So
yeah. And on reflection, that is really no surprise, is it?
No.
Yeah.
Good boy, mate. Yeah, he's keen as.
Yeah.
Oh, Miss Shooter, you're so beautiful.
Like they're built different to dogs.
They are. They have some slight differences in their joints, in their movement, in their ability, in some of the way that their skeletal system is put together. So they are, in other words, a little bit more capable than your standard dog. They say that, you know, they can rotate their wrists, so then they can actually hug and climb trees. They can rotate their head a little bit further around. They can spread their arms.
The head can
out.
go back,
Yeah.
all the way back.
Yeah, they can spread their front legs, splay them out sideways, which no dogs can. Rover, leave that. Yeah, it's pretty funny, and then I'm not sure, I think we just caught the tail end of it, but he just did the most impressive standing leap from this platform, or that one, to outside the door. And, you know, it reminded me of like a gazelle or something.
Yeah, look at him, he really wants to. I can't wait to. I really hope he does swim, and not today,
he
but
looks like he will.
Whenever he's ready.
Like he's going to.
Because even when he jumped out, he came straight back in.
Yeah, I jumped out with him, and he just guided me straight back up and wanted to come straight back in the water. So that's why I wanted to pick him up and just pull him in and teach him how to get out the way that I do with the other dogs. But again, this is just one of those things where it's going to be on his terms and a little bit different to, you know, how we'd usually approach most of it with the other dogs. But I think with his keenness to investigate the water, he'll jump in for sure.
He does look like he's going to go in every time a dog goes in.
Yeah. Come on, Tim. Good dog. Come on, Cruiser. Come on, buddy.
Good job, Bat.
You can
buddy.
do it. You can do it, mate. Yeah, good boy, buddy. Good boy. Come on, mate. Good boy. Look at him. He's so interested, isn't he? Good boy, buddy. Good boy. Come on.
If only we had another ramp, you know, that was lower than that level.
Oh, that was usually a bit higher.
This one's quite good on this side.
Yeah. Good boy, Cruiser. Good boy, mate. Don't jump in, buddy. Okay? Don't jump in, buddy. Good boy. Yeah, come on. Hello, Miss Little Girl.
Every time Abrid goes in, and oh, he nearly went in.
I thought that was him, but it was cool.
Yeah.
Ready, go!
Oh goodness, Fredo, you just jumped on Tiltu.
Tutu.
Go, Tiltu. Just spotted Chris. Well.
Just got a bit spooked, but it's a funny scenario.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
Kitty pie! You both still going strong, Kitty.
Come on, Kitty. Oh, look at her.
Good girl, Kitty pie. Oh, that's amazing.
She's such a good little swimmer.
Oh, you smell so good.
Doesn't she?
You smell so good, Kitty. Oh yeah, good girl.
Personally, I could watch her swim all day.
Yeah.
It's just me, but she's so cute. Her and Miss Violet.
Can we get it maybe to do it? Okay. Mine here, yeah.
To do.
Good job, Cruiser. Good boy, mate. Good boy. Well done, buddy. Thank you, boy. Thank you. Good boy, mate.
Miss Red. Miss Red. boy, buddy. That's it. That's it.
Good boy. There you go. Abra splashing behind me. Area. I think this is going to be your main little off-lead area for a while, isn't it? Good boy, buddy. Good boy. Good boy, mate. It's going to be your main section. You can't jump these fences. Can you, mate? Okay? Hello, Abra. Hello, mate. Hello, mate. You're a very good swimmer. I saw you before. You're great, isn't you? Hey? You're great. Going across there like a bullet. Isn't you, buddy? Yeah? Good boy. I'm going to keep getting these toys and trying them to raise every. You're going to like playing with them soon. Hello, mate. Good boy. Yeah, well done. Chop chop. This one's for you, buddy.
Oh, I think that he's wearing it like a nappy.
Sorry?
Tank. You might need some help there, I think.
Yeah, it's okay. You got it, man. buddy.
Holy moly, Roscoe!
Pretty good.
Yeah. What a good boy. What a good boy, buddy.
Good job, mate. Good boy. Well done. Well done, buddy. Yeah, hi. Yeah, you too. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah. Good girl. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. There's that backpack carry she wants. Oh, the backpack carry. That's what you want.
It's not the lens, the camera body as well. So this is full frame 4K.
Yeah.
So not only would we get this, but we can crop in massively.
Yeah. Well, what was that?
It was full HD.
Yeah. But not 4K.
Not 4K. I think this is full frame.
Yeah, right.
So this is my.
Yeah, I think that's Ben's camera, and we hired the lens. The lens is cheap.
The GoPros, the harnesses. I'll start
Oh, you want
backing
them
up
now?
there.
Yeah.
I'll start backing up with my harnesses, okay?
Finish shot. Who's got the other one? Oh, I hope. I can't wait for him to experience the first towel. Oh yeah, good girl. That's it. Good girl. Yeah, she came flying in with a airborne attack before, but she's got no canines at the moment, so it doesn't help. Oh, cutie, good girl.
Cute.
Good girl, Lily.
Look at you.
Good girl, Lily. Hello, Pie. Hello, Pie. Oh,
Good girl, Lil.
hello, mate. Yeah, it's me on the here.
It's like that's a strange thing to see.
Yeah. Well, a pretty big success for the first introduction to the dogs into the pool. Like even Diesel can't handle that yet.
Yeah, so that's where even I can see how he's very different to
Very different.
dogs.
Yeah. There was a couple of times where he was caught on a choke point on these ramps that you could see he went into a little bit of a flight mode, couldn't really escape, and I could see the body language was getting pretty tense. But, you know, on the first day, just enough space to get out of the way and you know, he did very, very well. Oh, hello. Oh, hello, Abra. Hello, darling. Hello. She's claiming me. It's my human. Everybody else, step off. Your paws are still so sharp. I think the neck is just such a sensitive area. It doesn't matter how sharp the claws are.
Yeah. Wolfie grabs me and it hurts.
Ah.
So. And he does look like he's really enjoying it.
Yeah, I think he's having a great time.
That's great.
Yeah. Hello, Matilda. Good girl.
Good girl, Matilda. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's enjoying it too. I think he got pretty excited about the pool and the water. He came right up and was really interested. You know, it's a nice hot day. So, you know, it's a great opportunity for him to cool off. And as far as during this initial period of him getting used to us and this is his home and this is his pack, it's a pretty good area for him to hang out and have a bit of space rather than be stuck away if we're not working with him, you know what I mean? Because this is the only spot that he can't jump out.
Yeah.
But given that, you know, they say that for dingoes you need a 2-metre fence.
No, they actually, it's more than that.
What do they say?
They recommend that you have a 3-metre fence or like a minimum 2.1 with a return.
Right.
So you can't have just a standard 2-metre fence. It has to be 2.1 with a return.
Yeah, and given that effortlessly he did like a 9-foot leap.
And if they can climb trees, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So just for everyone at home, like the plan obviously for Cruiser is that, you know, like we have to
Create
develop
that bond and safe place that he just doesn't want to leave.
That's
he
right.
He doesn't have a desire to leave because just like Roscoe and, you know, Matilda, they can jump the fences.
Yep.
And if they want to leave, they can, but they just don't want to. And so that's going to be our goal for him because he does have the ability to just effortlessly launch over that fence. Don't you, mate?
But I think he's already
Good boy.
liking the pack, so...
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's already having a good time. He's already enjoying the company. He's already confident running around through them, as you can see. And it is pretty exciting, you know, to be involved in it all. So I think that we're well on our way to creating a nice, happy place for him.
Yep.
I just keep having a look at him and, you know, remind myself that he's a wild animal.
Look at this little girl. That's
She's
her
funny,
favourite
isn't she?
place right there.
Yeah. So on the bus ride in the middle of nowhere, you know, there's a good 6 hours of just nothingness.
Yeah.
And so I let the dogs hang out near us and the girls for a couple of hours. And all she wanted to do was get up on my lap while I was driving or lie down at my feet. So unfortunately I couldn't let her out too often because she just wants to do this. Wants to get up and interfere,
Yeah.
so I had to put her away. But Roscoe, he just chills out.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, this is all she wants to do.
She's a Velcro girl.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't blame her. I'm talking your language, aren't I? It's like, I understand this guy.
You can just see though, like, if you were going into battle,
Yeah.
like, she would totally be into that
Oh, yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
Like, she would go into that with you.
Yeah, doesn't matter what it is, she's like, let's go. Yeah. Which is cool. You see a lot of... There's a couple of YouTube videos of just random pets, not trained for anything, just random pets and having an intruder break in.
Oh, yeah, I've
and
seen
then pretend to be scared and see what your dog does.
Yeah.
And the amount of dogs that just up and out of there, they just leave their owner for dead. Like, Save yourself. I'm gone. Yeah, that's funny. And it's surprising, isn't it, who stands their ground?
Is.
Like little chihuahuas, they're guarding from this little...
I remember
You know?
seeing one, and the only dogs that actually did scare the intruder out were little ones and a little old one.
Yeah.
You know, they were.
They were just ferocious, weren't they? It was awesome.
It was great.
You got these pitties and these big dogs who are like, yo, no thanks. Let me know when it's all over in there. Yeah, it's funny.
We have a laugh because we have
Yeah.
known a few just exactly like that.
My favourite one was that flash past the window. You know who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to say who it is.
No,
Yeah,
a tough
Yeah.
boy on the outside.
yeah. Hilarious. Hey, go, man. Then that's when we'll kind of either leave them. That's when that real period starts.
Right.
You know, this. You know, it's a really good sign. He's not trying to hang out by the door or hang out looking through the fences. What was interesting was he straight away wanted to inspect his surroundings, and instantly he went running around. He went up. He went down. He mapped everything out. And then he just came back and started hanging out, which is a good sign. But it does, at this early stage, it does give me some concern if we were to let him off too early.
Yeah.
Because he would just go, especially if, you know, he just saw some kangaroos next door and just went, yeah, I feel like chasing those. And just leap over the fence and he's off. Just like that.
He doesn't like Freddie there. What's going on there? Is it because Freddie just pushes into everyone?
It could be because Freddie was the one sort of just barking at nothing there and disrupting it all, but yeah, definitely have to watch that. Yeah, Freddie's got no consideration for the rest of the dogs, so he just barges through as hard as he can. So maybe he bumped into him and he's not liking it or something.
Well, that was the first time he had to go. When he first came in, he was because someone barged him.
Yeah, he knows all right.
Because he felt like he had no escape.
Yeah, that was one of my main concerns when I was listening to the scenario he's come from. They would rough play, and the cattle dog was pretty much had a jealousy issue and was going to town on him, and they were just fighting all the time. So my concern was that that's how he's learnt dog interactions are. You know? So once he
had to be kept separate in the end, didn't they?
Yeah. So once he really relaxes, there may be some of that behaviour come out. But we'll see.
I'm just interested, like, does his growl escalate?
Well, he showed full teeth there.
No, I know, but you know, like, dogs have the, like, say for instance, Chance, you know, where it just goes all the way.
Well, who knows?
Like, is it different with
Let's
them?
wait-
Is it,
let's-
is
let's
it all
wait
this, like, communication? You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah, let's wait and see if he does it again to a dog who's I'm not gonna take it lying down. He's starting to mark.
He's gaining confidence by the minute.
Neck minute.
He's running the joint.
Yeah, he's just pushing his weight around, letting everyone know what for. Wait till he does it to Abra.
Yeah.
Abra's got a chip on her shoulder. G'day guys, so as some of our members would already know, we are trialling a few different dog food brands, and just looking for what is going to be the best possible food for these guys whilst keeping consistent with what they're getting. So as far as a couple of the ones that we've been going for, we're currently on to Ziwi Peak, and they are almost completely weaned onto this one. So here we go, we've got our delivery from Ziwi Peak, and we've got 23 of these bags of dog food. We've got a couple of different varieties here, but the bulk of them are the mackerel and lamb recipe, and then the lamb recipe. We've got a couple of other ones in here, lamb tripe, venison. So far, so good. What's been happening in the last couple of times we've been weaning them onto a certain food, they eat it during the transition period, and then once they're completely weaned onto it, they've been going off it. So hopefully, it's all looking good so far. Hopefully they like this one. This is probably, well, it is the most expensive of the pet food brands out there, but it does, in my opinion, look to be one of the better quality ones. As stated on the packet here, 96% lamb, organs, green mussels, and then whole seafood, lamb and organs. So it's kind of like beef jerky, but for dogs. So it's good quality stuff, just freeze dried or dried out, and then packaged here. So one of the big things that I noticed between this stuff and any of the other dog foods is that the quantity, the serving size is much less. So it's a much smaller serving size in comparison to some of the other dog brands out there and some of the other dog food. So to me that says that it's a really highly concentrated food, which is good. It means it's good quality stuff. So for example, here we go for 40 kilos. Let's see if we can get across there. 40 kilos. We go across to the Adventurer, which is the more active, and we're looking at 353 grams per day. 353 grams per day. Now remember that for that same dog, fresh food, they were on 1.5 kilograms per day. So this is the difference between the amount of nutrients they're going to get out of this volume of food versus fresh food. So I am hopeful that they continue to eat it as much as enthusiastically as they are, because it does look like it's going to be beneficial. There's no grains. A couple of our dogs got allergies, so skin allergies, stuff like that. It is all high quality content. fingers crossed that it all works out, but that was one of the main things that I found very interesting, was the fact that for that size dog, you know, that 353 grams is a per day serve, so you split that by 2 for 2 meals a day. At first I questioned that, and you know, when I was speaking to the Ziri Peak rep, they assured me that nope, it is as per the packet, a little bit goes a long way. So judging by, or going off those calculations, it's easier to do a 2-day reference, but that there, 3 bags is 2 days supply for my dogs. So we have roughly 14 days worth of food here, which is, I worked out, including the smaller ones, is 24 all up. So we got the 2 different sizes here. We got the 2 biggest sizes you can buy, so the 4 kilo and the other variants, which are these other flavours, are the smaller ones, 2.5 kilo. So obviously I'm going for volume here. These are the main flavours that we tested on before doing a bulk order, and they do like the lamb recipe and the mackerel and lamb. So thought I'd just give you guys an update. We got the delivery, so now we can commit to this trial with Ziri Peak. As with anything that we do, obviously going to your local pet store, they're not going to stock this kind of volume of food, and so we have been scrounging across a whole heap of different pet shops to get the pet food that we want, and to try to maintain a consistent flow of volume so that we don't have to chop and change. So I'm excited. So far they've done pretty well. We've spent the last 2 weeks travelling around to different pet shops in all different directions, trying to find this stuff so that we can wean them onto it completely. And they're pretty much at that stage. This morning and last night they had just this in their bowls, and so we're transitioning from a previous one and also from fresh. So we're ready to go, ready to start their trial. Fingers crossed. So far all their stools look very good. They're all quite regular. There's been no mistakes in the house. It's all been positive so far. Now the biggest test is, are they going to continue to eat it? Which has been surprisingly, it has been a deciding factor on a fair few of the previous dog foods that we've been trialling. Anyway, thought I'd keep you guys up to date. These guys all think it's dinner time now, but we're a couple of hours off that. Just come out of the pool, and they are hanging around for those bowls to come out. But it looks like an impressive amount of food, but it's only going to last 2 weeks.